ask questions at the end, so be thinking during the presentation about questions. You should have media kits in the white folder that include a press release and the correct spellings of the names of the people who are talking. So with that said, I am going to turn it over to Sharon Fox, who used to be with the Savoy Tea Company, but now she's the Chief Communications Officer for Bluebell High School.
Sometimes you have to give up tea for the ice cream, which is what I did. This is not one. I can talk.
Thank you. Just talk in.
I don't. Is it that one? It's nothing is coming out. This one will have a button.
There you go.
You all just thought you were here for a press conference. Instead, it's my concert.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll do that too.
You could do a fabulous concert. I know that.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for coming to this press conference. I am Dr. Sharon Fox, Chief Communication Officer for Bluebell Creameries. We wanted to talk with you a wee bit so that you can help us get the word out to our customers and fans. Let me assure you that we at Bluebell are heartbroken about what has happened. We take the situation very seriously, and we are committed to addressing the health and safety of our customers. In keeping with that commitment, we are announcing a nationwide recall of Bluebell products. Before I get into the specifics, I want to offer you a brief video message from our President and CEO, Paul W. Cruz.
We're heartbroken over this situation and apologize to all of our loyal Bluebell fans and customers. Our entire history has been dedicated to making the very best and highest quality ice cream we possibly could, and we're committed to fixing the problem. Ice cream is a joy and a pleasure to eat. It certainly is for me, and I do it every day, and it should never be a cause for concern. And for that, we do apologize, and we're going to get it right.
We have invited you.
Dr. Pepper Float Bluebell.
I apologize.
We have invited you here to show you the steps that we are taking to do what the CEO Cruz said, to get it right. As we move forward, we are focusing on protecting our loyal customers and supporting the thousands, and I mean thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, of loyal employees working throughout a 20-state region. It just feels like it. I will share a few remarks, and then I will introduce you to Dr. Zoe Moody, Associate Director of the Federal Centers for Disease Control. Since this situation began 6 weeks ago, we have been working closely with the Centers for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, and the Texas Department of State Health Services. So here's a brief timeline. On February 12th of this year, the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control did routine product sampling at our South Carolina Distribution Center. During this routine sampling, inspectors found 3 strains of Listeria monocytogenes in Bluebell products that would later be shown to be related to illnesses reported in Kansas. These products were manufactured at Bluebell's Brenham facility. Subsequently, the Texas Department of State Health Services collected product samples from our Bluebell facility in Brenham. These samples results showed Listeria monocytogenes similar to those found in the products tested in South Carolina. On March 13th, the CDC announced a link between the 5 Kansas cases of listeriosis. We launched a limited product recall on that day and broadened it within a few days. As of today, Bluebell Creamery is issuing a nationwide recall of all our ice cream and dairy products. We will work diligently to investigate this crisis and will cooperate fully with all federal and state organizations. Esteemed members of the media, it is important that all consumers hear this message. You should not consume Bluebell products that may be in your freezer. Most may still be safe to eat, but out of an abundance of caution, and we are all about an abundance of caution here at Bluebell Creamery, we are asking our customers to return them to stores for a refund or to dispose of them. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Zoe Moody, Associate Director of the Centers for Disease Control. Dr. Moody.
Thank you, Ms. Fox.
Dr. Fox.
I apologize, Dr. Fox, from one doctor to another, I apologize. I wanted to provide some context about listeriosis and explain how the CDC and other health organizations have been working together to investigate the incident. As you probably know, listeriosis is a life-threatening infection caused by eating food contaminated with the bacterium Listeria monocytogenes. Listeria. I applaud Bluebell for its efforts to work in tandem with agencies such as the CDC. As their company president said, all of us want to get this right. To elaborate on the recall, the CDC recommends that consumers do not eat any of the recalled Bluebell brand products and that institutions and retailers do not serve or sell them. The recall includes all Bluebell brand ice cream, frozen yogurt, sherbet, and frozen snacks. This advice is particularly important for consumers at high risk for listeriosis. The high-risk populations include pregnant women, adults 65 and older, and people with weakened immune systems. You may be wondering about how common outbreaks of this sort are. A few outbreaks of listeriosis are identified in most years. Every year, about 1,600 people get listeriosis in the United States. We are discussing an outbreak related to ice cream today, but listeria infections have also been linked to deli meats and hot dogs, soft cheeses, celery, sprouts, and cantaloupe. We know this is concerning, and we at the CDC are making a hotline available for consumers who may have questions. The hotline is staffed 24 hours per day and can be reached at 1-800-555-777. You also can find a set of frequently asked questions on the CDC website at www.cdc.gov/listeria/faq.html. I know you may have questions, but I do ask that you wait until the end of our news conference to ask those questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Fox.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Moody. I want to emphasize how we at Bluebell Creamery have been working closely with the health officials in South Carolina, the State Department of Health Services here in Texas. I'm going to now turn it over to Mr. Mark Turner, the Bluebell Chief Operations Officer, who will discuss some specifics about steps to clean and disinfect all Bluebell Creamery plants. Thank you. Mr. Turner?
Thank you, Dr. Fox. I'm Mark Turner. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Bluebell. I'm going to walk you through some of the steps that will be taken in the coming days. Our team has been working constantly since we first received the call from South Carolina about the samples there containing listeria. It's all hands on deck as we seek to gather the ice cream being pulled from store shelves. Starting today, Bluebell will shut down all of our ice cream plants to conduct comprehensive cleaning programs. We will also be implementing a new food safety training program for employees at the Brenham, Texas plant. Like most of you, I love ice cream. Eager to get the product back on our store freezers. We're already hearing that cry from a lot of our loyal customers. We ask for your patience. As CEO Cruz said, we are committed to getting this right. Part of my job is tracking the numbers, so I'm going to share a few details to help you understand how massive this recall is and what the cleaning process is. We're pulling some 8 million gallons of ice cream, sherbet, and other frozen product, and that's from a 23-state area. We employ more than 3,500 people, and our first priority right now is having all of those employees focused on recovering product from any stores or consumers. When we have recovered the product, We will dispose of it in sanitary landfills that we've already identified. We've got 3 production facilities, with the primary facility located here in our headquarters city of Brenham, Texas. We also operate plants in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and Silicoga, Alabama. Those sites are being shut down now as we begin a deep cleaning of all locations and start major updates to all of these facilities. There's been a strain of listeria reportedly traced at each of our production locations, and we are determined to take care of all issues before resuming production. I know you're wanting to hear about a timeline for getting our plants up and running and product back on the shelf. Well, I'm going to be honest, I don't have a precise timeline. We are envisioning a phased relaunch in about 4 months. In addition to the deep cleaning and sanitation efforts, we plan to enact several new measures related to testing our product on site before any products are placed on a truck. That's the information I have for you at this time. I appreciate your being here and helping to get the word out to the customers. Above all, we want to protect the health and the well-being of all of the customers. We're working to return our beloved ice cream to store freezers as soon as possible. Give it back to Dr. Fox.
We would now answer your questions. If you would, please state your name, the media outlet you're representing, before you ask your questions. You can ask questions of Dr. Sirmore, Mr. Mark Turner, or myself. I don't think I've ever been at a press conference where the press were not eager to ask questions. Please feel free to ask your questions.
Extra credit.
And also, we look ridiculous. Yes, ma'am, in the brown sweater.
My name is Chelsea Castillo. I'm from NBC. What more information do you guys have on the employee trainings that you guys are requiring now for future instances?
Thank you for that question. We are working with both the CDC and the national, the state agencies to see what they have they can bring to our different, what do we call them, product places. I'm in trouble.
Creameries.
Thank you, Mark. I'm so glad that you're our CEO. We're working on those things, but we are making sure that if we do it right. As you said, we want to do it right, so we're not going to rush to it. We're going to make sure that we get all the information we can. And so we will get back to you as soon as we have that information.
Delaney or Samantha, help them, come on.
I think there's a question over
Yeah,
here.
I'll go. Emily from New York Times. Why was the product not tested before it left the plant originally?
We weren't having any issues with the ice cream. We've had this ice cream for over 100 years. We have not had any kind of issues like this. We had no idea this was coming until we heard from South Carolina. We didn't have any reason to suspect that we needed to be testing this ice cream because of our history of not having any issues with any kind of problems with the product.
On top of that, we do regular testing. This happened to come up in our regular round of testing. We do them all at different times to ensure that different batches are being tested. So the fact is that this would not have been discovered if we were not used to doing regular testing. Bluebell is very, very, very determined that we always test and that we get those results back as quickly as possible, which is why it was only a 5-day turnaround between the first one and the second one. It was that quick.
So you test more frequently now?
We already have a very, very regular testing. However, yes, we will be adding in more testing along with the added training that we're planning to do.
We're setting up a whole new system for testing this ice cream and all of our products.
Bluebell could not have lasted for 100 years without
That's right. There you
the
go.
excellent regular testing that we do.
I have a question. So you
Name
said,
and your media agency, please.
yes ma'am, I'm Delaney Reeves with the Eagle View student newspaper. So you said within Bluebell's history, you have not had any indication of this happening. So why has it happened now, do you think? And what, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I wish I could tell you personally, I wish I could tell you why that it's happened now, and we are still investigating that. Right now, we don't know why that happened in South Carolina and some other places. We are investigating, we're looking through all of our plants, we're gonna find what the issue was, and we're gonna make sure that it doesn't happen again.
How many people do you have investigating it? How many manpower do you have looking into this?
We have people looking into it. I can't tell you how many people exactly are looking into it. I don't know, but I do know that we have organizations involved, and we are restructuring the organizations that we've already been using to test the ice cream. And our restructuring is going to involve more people testing it and more critical testing of the product. But exactly how many more, I don't have those figures in front of me now.
We'd also, each plant is doing their own work, which means we'd have to multiply those numbers, and we don't want to misrepresent any information incorrectly.
Thank you.
Any other questions? This is the most friendly press conference you're ever going to encounter, is it?
We were really nervous about this, but now it's not looking so bad.
I haven't even got to say no comment. Come on, ask the hard one.
Any other questions? It's not normally done, but let's give our press conference organizers a round of applause. Thank you so much. You can find a lot of information in the media kits. I encourage you to hang on to them and use them as you write your story. And thank you very much. Dr. Ruby, Dr. Fox, and
I've got a doctorate.
Dr. Mr.
Thank you.
Did you have, I was trying to look and see. Yeah, you could have had a PhD, so I thought it would be funny actually if you kept calling me miss and I kept, but I actually correcting a medical doctor, not a PhD instead of an MD. I thought that would be funny.